So I think that leads to our final segment of the show tonight, our aesthetics.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also the final Nike City Connect uniform reveal of 2023, the Pittsburgh Pirates, or as I would call them, the Pagua Pirates. They revealed their very classic looking
They look good.
uniforms. Yeah, I think we're kind of putting our reactions up there before we're going to actually give our middle fingers up or down for these. But I thought they were pretty cool too. They look like Pittsburgh Pirates. I mean, they look like the classic 1970 late 70s uniforms they had, minus the pillbox caps, which I never really liked anyway. But that's such a iconic look for them. But they went with a gold hat with a black brim with the classic black P, gold jerseys with PGH across the chest, which is, that's the standard abbreviation for Pittsburgh. It just looks kind of odd to someone not from Pittsburgh, because I would use PIT to abbreviate Pittsburgh, but I guess Pitt is not the most positive connotation. It's also the name of the university, PITT. They've kind of absconded with that abbreviation. So to alleviate any confusion, they went with the PGH. Not surprisingly, in 2023, it is now the fifth Nike City Connect jersey uniform to feature black pants, which I've been railing against in many cases. In this case, it makes perfect sense because
It looks great.
It's a core color of the Pirates, but it's also, they had black pants back in the 70s at one point, so it makes sense. It really reminds me a lot of how well the White Sox executed the Southside uniforms, because they just look like the White Sox immediately. Just like this makes sense with their brand identity, and I think Pittsburgh did the same. Probably not quite as well, but they did quite well with it. I think the PGH is the only thing I would have an issue with, but the other things that you and I might have issue with would be, of course, the explanations for all the various details that you may or may not have noticed
Yes.
on initial viewing. And of course, they put together documents on social media that I've pulled together for you. We could kind of read through those and make fun of them, or to maybe to gain some insight into things that we hadn't noticed. But
yeah. So, well, we already talked about the first thing they talk about is we bleed black and gold, and it just covers off what you just talked about. So we'll skip ahead.
I forgot to bring up the black and gold. That is very unique to Pittsburgh, actually. Every pro sports team is black and gold. The Penguins,
that is true.
Steelers, and I think that all had to have started with the Pirates, because they started 50 years before any of those teams were in existence. So I think that's really cool, because I don't that like two colors don't define any other sports town that I can think of. Detroit's got all, they run the gamut of colors for their teams. Chicago's the same way. Nobody's got the same colors there. I can't think of any other place. So I think that's pretty cool for Pittsburgh in general, that all their teams are black and yellow, and that's just sort of their city's identity. If you've ever been to Pittsburgh, which I know you have, because you and I both went there for a Sox Pirates series. Shit, when was that?
God,
was that 15 years ago?
Long time ago, yeah.
No, Michael Buckfitch was pitching. We were yelling at him in the bullpen, but even the city is black and yellow. The bridges are all painted yellow. That's a surprisingly cool city too, like a beautiful city. So I wanted to mention that too, because from a designer's perspective, it's cool to see a visual identity that carries across all the different sports in a town. I like it.
Yeah, I'll get to some of the details here that we wouldn't notice, because this is the fun of Nike Connect. And I will also say there's only like five areas they mention here. So again, Nike has limited the explanation. The last few, the amazing Cincy jerseys that said Cincy on their winning streak ever since they got those jerseys.
That's right.
I don't think they've taken them off. I think they wear those every day.
The power of the City Connect. You can't.
But one of the things is the texture on each letter of the PGA is inspired by the texture found on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. Okay. While the arching text nods to the city's iconic three bridges. On the sleeve, you can find the iconic Pittsburgh P. In this city, we bleed black and gold.
All right.
Now this part's interesting, and I'm not sure this happened before, but these are City Connect jerseys. But now we're getting to City Connect pants, because on the pants is what they're calling the check. And this is reference to the graphic that appears on the seal of the city. More than that is also the reference to the performance when talking about how the steel itself has managed to evolve. Carbon fiber has been used to improve the performance. This mix of heritage and innovation is also at Pittsburgh's core. Now, this appears as a belt loop, like through the pant on the side.
Wow. Okay.
This
Yeah,
is
I
nothing.
missed
This is
that.
not on the jersey itself. So I guess this City Connect pants too now.
Wow.
Pantalones.
Yeah, I mean they've all had pants. They just haven't had that many details spelled out about the pants themselves. So
Yeah.
they're definitely finding way. In general, these are very plain, simple jerseys. That's the other reason I like them a lot. They're very simple, but yeah, there's patterns all throughout. That this is where Nike is trying to stretch their creative muscles. That I think they might be going a bit too far with, but that's fine. Let them have
Yes.
fun with it.
The next is one part of the pattern, because there's two icons in the pattern. We're going to talk about the asteroid. This iconic shape represents Pittsburgh's history in the American steel industry. For
That
decades.
is, by the way, that is the diamond shape that you've seen in the Steelers logo
Yeah,
all this time.
exactly.
Those the three diamonds. That's the same shape. This is just a gold one throughout, repeated throughout. So
Yes, this is not a nod to Wes Anderson's Asteroid City. This
it's
is completely
yes,
unrelated. For decades, Pittsburgh has been at the center of the steel industry, blah, 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 blah. So we know that. Then also in the pattern is the Y, which is cool. It represents the three rivers. It's like an upside down Y to be exact. The
yeah.
shape is nod to the Allegheny, uh,
Allegheny, Ohio,
and
and
the Monagalea.
I'm not sure if you remember the when the Cubs released their Wrigleyville City Connect uniforms.
Right.
They had a secondary logo that was similar. It's similar to the city seal. It's got the Y because of the three rivers coming together downtown. So I thought that was a similar idea, at least executed differently. But
Yeah.
it's become common for Nike to use the city seal and in different ways.
Yeah, it makes more sense for Pittsburgh. The thing I remember us having a chuckle about with the Cubs, it's like, well, wait, is this the full city jersey then? Because you had two teams. Remember, we were having a little
Yeah,
chuckle about that. But yeah, a lot of cities have that common symbol like that. So
right.
last but not least are the bridges. And there's this, I don't know how to describe it, like two larger circles and then two smaller
Yeah, I didn't
circle
understand
patterns.
that either. I'll post all this stuff on the website when we get there, but yeah, that one you'd have to really look deep to figure out what the fuck they're trying to do there.
Yeah, this is also in the PGH, which we talked about a little bit earlier. The pattern inside the PGH on the front of the jersey pays homage to the circular gates built in the windows of the pillars on the
Okay.
Clemente Bridge. All right, this
All
just
right.
for those of you scoring at home, it's the circular grates. They're built into the windows of the pillars of the Clemente Bridge. Just to make sure
I
everyone
mean,
got that.
at least we're just talking about a pattern on a uniform. I mean, the Cleveland Guardians base their whole identity based on architecture and a
Yeah.
bridge someplace there. So yeah, I mean, these are small ancillary ideas that have very, very little consequence at least. But
Yeah, they don't. Then it just goes on to say, it references the city bridges of Pittsburgh that connects all the people. Blah blah blah.
blah blah blah. Well, they had their fun. Is that the end of their
Yeah, that's the end of
explanations?
it.
All
I
right.
I do want to
Like
make one.
that's plenty.
I do want to make one more comment. Did you find the picture you sent me of the three players who I have no idea who any of them are? I mean, where are they players or are they just some dudes they pulled off the street to take a
Yeah.
fucking picture? Because I've never seen three
Pittsburghians.
three dirt bags in a fucking photo before like
Well,
this.
we're probably not as familiar with Pittsburgh's lineup as we could be, but
Yeah, but I
I'm
was like,
assuming there are players. I'll have to
I,
take another look. I got that off their social media, so maybe they were models. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with debatable. But anyway,
Well, that was fun. That's going to be the last one for a while. Of course, Nike is going to release at least 6 more next year. And I think there's still 10 teams left. So maybe they're going to
well,
do 5 and 5, or it sounds
there.
like the Yankees have no plans to even participate in this, which is
Nope.
interesting.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a asshole-ish move, I think.
yeah, well, I'm not surprised from the Yankees, but I'm breathlessly awaiting the Tigers City Connect uniforms. I have no idea what direction they will go in. I'm assuming it'll be Motor City somehow. They haven't really activated the orange secondary color in their identity as much. This might be an orange look. We'll see. A's have yet to announce anything. They might not be in Oakland at that point, so I don't know if they're going to play off their new home in Vegas or how that's going to work. That'll be
They'll just
interesting
have
to
an
see.
A's. It'll just be an A's jersey.
Yeah, who knows? But I think we should wrap up this episode so I can finish watching this Tigers game, which they lead 4-1 in Arlington. So I'm kind of shocked by this score. That's why you've seen me a bit distracted during this during this episode. You can, in the meantime, you can find us on social media at.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What's our rating?
Oh, I'm sorry. Wow.
I'm giving 2 middle fingers up.
I think I have to follow with 2 middle fingers up, and those are good. Those are good things. So yeah.
All right, geez, now finish up so you can get to your fucking Tigers
Well, we
game.
kind of gave it away at the beginning, so I totally forgot about it by the end. So sorry about that. I am definitely obsessing over my Tigers right now, the score. So
You know they're only breaking your heart in the end of this. It's only the third.
yeah, I am a little bit worried, but we'll see.
Word Hole Media.